Hello Ben and Sophie. I've got the maternity hospital and the farm to show you. So we'll have a look at the front of the hospital first. You can see it's the Princess Sophie Maternity Hospital, and it's got real glass in the windows and we can open the doors. But the back of it we've opened up a bit like a doll's house, so you can see what's inside. And we've got two ladies, I think they must be twin sisters, each with a baby in bed, and a nurse bringing the food, and a matron, and quite a few babies in, they're not in incubators, what are these? Cots. In cots, and one little premature baby in an incubator. Now the back of the hospital goes on to a lovely little garden, and we'll look at some of the things going on in the garden. There's David the gardener, he's just sweeping the path. And then you see some of these planters, we've got, this one's got red tulips and yellow daffodils. And this one over here has hyacinths, blue, white and pink. And then this one here has big tall sunflowers. And this one at the back is a delphinium. And these are lupins, the pink one. And then little snowdrops, they're the white ones. And then round on this side, there are yellow crocuses. And the last flower bed, I wonder if you know what these are. These are hollyhocks, the yellow and the red tall plants. One standard rose, whoops, and more lupins, purple and pink. And look, there's some naughty rabbits eating the grass. That one's scratching his chin, that's why it looks a bit funny. And let's look at what else is going on around the place. It's all right. A bit of a forest here, and two young ladies out riding on their ponies. Now one day your mummy and daddy will buy you a pony, because that's what happens when little girls like you. And when your mummy was small, we bought her a hamster, so it's the same sort of thing. But there's something in the forest that we ought to be careful about. Just over here, can you see what's happened? These are wolves, there's a pack of wolves. Now why is that so dangerous? It's because the sheep in the sheepfold, well, that's what wolves like to eat. They like to eat sheep, lambs. And there's the shepherd. He's got his crook and he's got a little lamb that's so small it needs special care. He's feeding with a bottle. And there's some lambs there. There's one having a drink from its mummy. Whoops. And two other little lambs. And these are the faithful sheepdogs. If they need, they can scare the wolves away, but they can also help round up the sheep. Oh, in fact, there are 4 sheepdogs there. Now we've got the pigsty. There's a sow, 3 piglets, and I think this girl from the farm is coming to feed them. There's the trough with the food. And then we've got the chickens, and the chickens have been let out because these are the doors, these slide up and down. And this girl, she's scattering corn for them to eat. And then coming round this way, this is the farm here, and there's 3 goats, and that's a kid. You always find there's a kid hanging around. And there, this man's dealing with the bales of hay. And over here we've got 2 pussycats, can you see? They're going to have a fight. And another pussycat sitting on a bale. This is the house where they live. It's like a log cabin. We can look inside. In fact, the door's open. Yeah. And this is the back door that opens as well. But there isn't much furniture. In fact, there's no furniture. And this is actually the doctor who works at the maternity hospital talking to her husband. She's on having a day off. We come round and we'll have to read this sign. This is an important sign here by the gate. Can you read what that says? Private, beware of the bull. And this is a bull, a Hereford bull, and he's got a big ring through his nose. It's very fierce, but he's a bit hungry because there's nothing in the manger. So this man would bring a few bales of hay across, we'll put them in, then he can eat those. And we've got a big pond. It's got real water in it. There we are. Lots of ducks, lots of little ducklings as well. Indian runners. And there are 2 geese having a fight. And then on this side, there's a herd of Frisian cows. A lot of them having a drink, because that's handy being next to the pond. And 2 calves. There we are, 2 calves. And coming round to this side, this girl, she likes to exhibit these horses at shows, and she's braided their manes with bows. Can you see those red bows? And the tails. Isn't she a clever girl? And she's just giving them something to eat, probably an apple or something like that. But the matron at the hospital has noticed that, looking at the readings on the incubator, that the baby's having a bit of difficulty breathing. So they phone the doctor who's at home in the farmhouse and say, "You must come quickly." Well, can't go on the tractor really, it wouldn't make sense, would it? So they have to call for a taxi. And because it's an emergency, here's the taxi coming up. They're going to have a police motorcycle escort. You see it says on the side, you can read that, can't you, Sophie? Police. And we'll put her in the taxi. Can't really put her in, but the doors do open. So she gets in the back, and off they go. All the way to the hospital, only 5 minutes. Out she gets, runs in, sees what's happening, gives the baby some medication, and everything's all right. And that's the end of our story. Bye-bye.